Adios, mi amor.
Now take a big inhale through the nose. Other side, engaging the send it out. You can come onto your knees together, feet down. But if you're in your
let's talk about my second trimester while I make some raspberry tea leaf. Yeah, so I'm mad at my second trimester because so many people say that your second trimester is the easiest one, right? That's when you get your energy back, you don't feel as sick, and it's just like the most enjoyable trimester. Well, that's not my case, and I understand everyone's pregnancy is kind of different in that aspect, right? So my first trimester compared to this one, I feel like was a breeze for sure. I didn't experience any like real morning sorry, it's loud. I didn't experience any real morning sickness during my first trimester. I was tired, but not really. I did a full video on my first trimester, so I will link it for you up here. And so when I started experiencing a lot more symptoms during my second trimester, I was just kind of thrown off. But I am currently 31 weeks. Let's see if you can see me. This is baby. We are 31 weeks, getting bigger every day. So let's talk about what I experienced during my second trimester. I have my notes here. I'm gonna wait for my tea to cool off, and then I'm gonna make it ice cold because it is hot. So let me sit down on my ball while my tea cools. So I have my notes here, and I'm just gonna go down the list of what I wrote down for symptoms that I've been experiencing. So the first one I wrote down was round ligament pain. So I was experiencing some pain in my lower abdomen, and I wasn't worried because it wasn't like extreme pain, it was just uncomfortableness. And you know, doing some research, people say you experience round ligament pain, but I'm like, what does that feel like? Is that what I'm actually feeling? You know, when you read symptoms online and you're like, okay, great, but it doesn't mean that when you're actually experiencing them that you know exactly that that's what it is. So I experienced it a little bit, not too much, just here and there. So I just think that was round ligament pain because my belly did start growing, and along with that came some little baby stretch marks in the lower abdomen. Not afraid to say that. I knew that I would probably get stretch marks because it's genetics, and I'll probably do a full video on stretch marks after I give birth and I see the extent of what happens or doesn't happen with my stretch marks after I give birth. My husband calls them stretchies. And then yeah, so round ligament pain, my belly got bigger and experienced some of that. And the next thing I wrote down was itchy skin. So my breast and my belly were kind of experiencing some itchiness. I still do, sometimes it itches, but not a lot. So I did experience it at the beginning of my second trimester. I do stay moisturized, and every time I experience some itchiness, I really try not to scratch. I think I didn't scratch at all. I would just pat down with some lotion, some oils and stuff like that just to get rid of the itchiness, but I did not want to scratch just in case. I knew I didn't have a, a skin rash, so that was nothing to worry about. It's kind of normal. Moving along with the most annoying symptoms that I have been struggling with this second trimester, which I feel like kind of all started around week 20, was I was uncomfortable sleeping. I would wake up, I was experiencing carpal tunnel. I still have carpal tunnel. I'm experiencing swollen feet, which I still have. I upgraded my sneakers. I bought a whole new size, and my feet are still sometimes get swollen, and my sneakers are kind of a little bit tight. So let me see. So the swollen ankles, the carpal tunnel, and restless leg syndrome all affected the way that I was sleeping. So I think that kind of took a little bit of an emotional toll on me, where I was tired, waking up every hour, every 2 hours, just, you know, on top of like waking up to go to the bathroom, I was waking up because my hands were completely numb, and the pain would wake me up. And then, so that was like the first thing, and I was sleeping with my feet elevated because I had swollen ankles, and during the day I would be uncomfortable because I'm sitting down so I can elevate my feet, but I'm I'm tired of sitting down. I can't be on my feet for too long either because it makes the swollenness even worse. And then now I had to sleep in a sitting position because I was looking for a comfortable position to sleep in, because they say, you know, sleep on your left. And when I would sleep on my left, I would get restless leg syndrome, and that would keep me up. And then if I slept on my right, I feel like my carpal tunnel would get worse. Of course, you can't sleep on your back. So I was basically sleeping sitting down, which was really kind of frustrating. At first, I was like, okay, whatever, I can do this. And then just after days and weeks, I was really frustrated about it. I mean, I talked to my doctor about it. I was getting worried about my swollen feet. I was thinking, oh, what if I had preeclampsia? But, you know, I spoke to my doctor and she's like, as long as we don't find anything wrong with your urine sample, which they take every time you go to the doctors, or your blood pressure, then I'm not worried. If you don't feel good, if you can go get your blood pressure checked at home with a little machine, or like a place at Walmart, which I did go twice to get my blood pressure checked in one of those self kiosks, and my blood pressure was fine. And I ended up getting a little blood pressure machine for the house so that I can check in case I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't feel good and I need to check my blood pressure. She was like, you can go to the emergency room, but I'm not trying to go to the emergency room if it's not an emergency. So I preferred to get the, whoa, I'm speaking a lot, out of breath, the blood pressure machine, which I've been using, and it, you know, my blood pressure is fine. So it's just normal swelling, a pregnancy swelling. You know, I was getting worried because people are like, oh, your body's trying to tell you something, or it's too early for your feet to get swollen. But again, every pregnancy is different. So when people say things, always take it with a grain of salt, or, you know, obviously always ask your doctor. You know, I always kept looking at my face, like my face is not swollen. My hands are a little bit swollen because of carpal tunnel. So yeah, I just went a really long rant and I just need to recoup my brain. Let me go check on my tea. I think that's good. So the other thing is pregnancy brain. Pregnancy brain is so real. I'll tell you the biggest pregnancy brain moment that I've had, but I've been forgetting things, like literally things that have just happened, and my husband's like, what? Like, oh my gosh. That's what people mean when they say pregnancy brain. So the other day I was putting on my everyday jewelry. So I have these two necklaces and these earrings, and I usually put them in the same spot or around the house, but I usually know where I put them. And so I was putting on my necklaces, and then I was looking for my earrings and I couldn't find them, and I'm looking everywhere for them. I literally spent like 30 minutes. I even text my husband, did you see my earrings this morning? He's like, no babe, I haven't seen them. And I'm looking around and literally underneath the furniture and everything. And then I just, oh my gosh, okay, I sat down, just think and ponder, where could they be? And I feel like I went like this and I felt something on my ears, and so I went like this and I was like, oh my gosh. I laughed so hard because I was wearing them the whole time. I probably put my earrings on first, and by the time I finished putting on my necklaces, I forgot that I put on my earrings. And I was like, that is so crazy. Like, pregnancy brain all the way, because it has never happened to me before. And I feel like that's the biggest like pregnancy brain that I've experienced, of course, along with just little things here and there, but I thought that was really funny. And yeah, I feel like that's it for second trimester recap. I'm so glad to be in my third trimester. I'll do a third trimester recap too, I guess, at some point after baby is here, or before, or I don't know. When do people do third trimester recaps? It's cold. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for supporting me on this journey. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in another video. Bye.